कि खुबोर का बातेसी TV. Lawan Rashaphi da ka Frank Motors. Booking open for the new Nexon. Visit Frank Motors or call 7045207973.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for affording me with this opportunity to respond to various concerns expressed during the discussion on the menace of drugs and substance abuse in the state. Sir, at the outset, I take the opportunity to thank the honourable member of this House, Adan M. Basayuman, MLA of Nongkrem constituency, for moving this private member's motion to discuss the menace of drugs and substance abuse in the state. I also thank other leaders, MLAs who took part in the discussion, which included Dr. Mukul Sangma, Pak Gabriel Walang, Pak Adelbert Nongrum, Pak Pantidor Lingdo, Pak Sanchar Lingdo Thawa, Pak Balajit Sunrem, and Pak Mujor Sungo. Meghalaya has been enduring the scourge of drug trafficking in the recent decades due to its proximity to the Golden Triangle and due to the fact the state is one of the transit routes for drug trafficking. Sir, in the past few years, drugs that were normally peddled into the state were usually in small quantity, but recently the state has witnessed a sizable contraband consignments being trafficked into or through the state. The modus operandi of most of the drug traffickers is to target mainly the students, as the state is a well-known educational hub of the Northeast region, and there have also been attempts to lure other members of the community into the ambit of drug consumption and trafficking. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the past few years, drug hotspots were mainly confined to the city of Shillong and towns of East Khasi Hills and Giant Hills. But the trend has changed in the recent past, with several cases of drug trafficking being detected in various parts of the Garo Hills, West Khasi Hills, and Ribhoi region as well. The changing trend is evident from the fact that since 2010 till the 6th of September 2023, a total of 827 cases have been registered throughout the state, which has also resulted in the arrest of 1,518 persons, which include 1,360 males and 158 females. Out of all the cases which have been registered since the year 2010, 563 cases have been charge sheeted. 104 have been returned in final report, and 160 cases are still pending for completion of investigation. As of 6th of September 2023, there is a total of 487 number of cases in which trial is pending. Further, Mr. Speaker, sir, a total of 50 persons have been convicted and 36 persons have been acquitted since the year 2010 till the 6th of September 2023. Sir, in terms of seizures made by the police department since the year 2010, it is worth mentioning that the approximate quantity of heroin seized is 36,665 grams. The quantity of cannabis/ganja seized is 11,290 kilograms. Opium, 2,796 grams. Methamphetamine seized is 93 kilograms. Crystal meth seized is 10 kgs. 95,102 bottles of codeine and 25,631 grams of other psychotropic substances have been seized. That apart, sir, 287 vehicles, 881 mobile phones, and cash worth 84,93,503, and 6 weapons have also been seized during this duration. Sir, the continuous success of the police department in the detection and seizure of drugs can be attributed to various factors, but one of the major factors is the presence of the Anti-Narcotic Task Force, ANTF, at the district level and the state level Anti-Narcotic Task Force. Sir, the ANTF at the district level is headed by an officer not below the rank of Deputy Superintendent of Police, and at the state level, the chairman of the task force is the IG of Police, CID. The role of the district level Anti-Narcotic Drug Task Force is to collate and disseminate intelligence pertaining to illicit drug activities, conduct regular checking in hotspot areas, and ensure that the detection, seizure, and investigation of NDPS cases are as per the established procedures. The ANTF team also conducts regular checking and surveillance in connection with the sale of syringes, injections in the districts. The ANTF also checks the CC footage in pharmacies, medicine shops, so as to monitor and deter the sale of syringes and injections without prescription by a medical practitioner. So, let me also update this House that all along we have been talking about the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985. However, in order to further strengthen our control over the drug menace in the state, the government has recently enacted the Prevention of Illicit Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances, PIT-NDPS Act, which was enacted in 1988. So this is a fairly new development, because all along until last year, the state had only followed the provisions of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, but the new act which we had adopted, the Prevention of Illicit Drug Traffic in Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1988, seeks to further aid in our war against drug trafficking. This is an additional weapon in the armory of the law enforcement agencies aimed at hitting at organized trafficking of drugs. While specific contraventions of NDPS Act will continue to be dealt with by prosecutions in court, some situations may arise even in such cases where preventive detention may be found necessary to prevent the continued illegal activities of the persons concerned. The basic objective of the preventive detention law, which we have just adopted, is to target the main operators such as the organizers, financiers, kingpins, and others who generally remain and operate behind the scene. So, in order to facilitate the implementation of the Toughened Act, the state government has also gone ahead to form the advisory committee for PIT-NDPS Act, whereby the central, under Section 9A of PIT-NDPS Act, the central government and each state government shall, whenever necessary, constitute one or more advisory boards, each of which shall consist of a chairman and 2 other persons possessing the qualifications specified in subclause A of clause 4 of Article 22 of the Constitution. In view of the above, the Governor of Meghalaya, via notification number HPL 54/2012/PT/684 dated 30th June 2023, has constituted an advisory board under the Act comprising the following members. Honorable Mr. Justice Retired Shivaji Pandey as Chairman, Mr. N.D. Shulai, Senior Advocate, High Court of Meghalaya, Member, Sri Shering Yangi, Senior Advocate, High Court of Meghalaya, Member. Sir, that apart, under the provisions of this Act, which we have adopted after constituting the advisory board, the state police has submitted a proposal to the government to initiate action against 9 repeated offenders, which means that the proposal would be that these repeated offenders would come under the new and toughened Act, PIT NDPS Act, which stipulates preventive detention of the repeated offenders ranging from 6 months to 2 years. Sir, the government is fully seized of the seriousness of this matter because, as has been rightly expressed by one of the participants in the debate, Balajit Sundram, there also appears to be a larger design to weaken and hit at the youth force, which is a huge strength of the state of Meghalaya. We have a huge youth population of roughly 65%, and if these various elements succeed in coming together and hitting at this vital force, then the state has a huge chance of losing a major force, which is its powerhouse, the youth. Sir, the government is fully committed to cracking on the narcotic, the various elements that are involved in drug trafficking and narcotic trade, which is why we have also taken the initiative to convene discussions with various faith leaders. I have personally met the faith leaders and have also assured that we will meet at regular intervals to take stock of the situation. Sir, this subject involves not just the social welfare department, but also the police and other line departments, and it is my assurance that we will walk in a cohesive manner, in a manner that will not allow these elements to be victors and our youths to be victims. Rather, our commitment is that we will be the victors and not the victims of the situation. Sir, the state government has also taken several innovative steps, and one of them is the introduction of the ambitious DREAM project, Drug Reduction, Elimination and Action Mission, with a vision to build a drug-free Meghalaya that leverages culture and communities through a multifaceted coordinating strategy to eliminate the incidence of substance use in the state. So various suggestions have been received in the discussions. on both days. These will receive due consideration by the government. It is my assurance that we will leave no stone unturned in our fight, in our war against drugs and the evil of drug trafficking. And we will also be holding regular interactions with the elected members of this august house, not only here during the session, but even outside where we meet, interface, and accordingly further tighten all steps that requires to be taken in order to ensure that the state does prevail and that the forces of evil are defeated. I would conclude by taking the opportunity to thank the Honourable Member Aden M. Basarman, MLA of Nongkrem constituency, for having moved this private member's motion, and also the other members whom I have named, who have made substantive and very relevant suggestions. And these suggestions will certainly be given a very close, very active consideration, so as to enhance our capacity to deal with this situation with the firm hand that it deserves. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.